Appreciate you being with us tonight. I'm Lauren Maloney. Winooski's school district superintendent testified in Washington, D.C. today, telling members of Congress about his experience being detained by federal officials this past summer. This comes as the district is in the national spotlight for another reason tonight, taking a stance against President Trump's recent comments about Somalis. ABC 22's Matt Holderman joining us live in the newsroom with more on what the superintendent had to say and really what else is developing in the Onion City.
Yeah, Lauren, that's right. Superintendent Wilmer Chavarria spoke at a bicameral public forum today hosted by a pair of Democrats. They invited legal U.S. citizens who've been detained by ICE or Customs and Border Protection to share their experiences, and those stories will be compiled into an official Senate subcommittee report.
I thank you for being here to support me and my fellow Americans as we ride out a dark time in our history.
Winooski School District Superintendent Wilmer Chavarria making a statement in the nation's capital Tuesday, saying the federal government under President Trump has made people born in other countries feel unwelcomed in the U.S., even those like him who've been legal U.S. citizens for years now.
If the goal is to make some citizens feel like they are of a second class, with only some of the rights but not others, then they have succeeded.
In July, Chavarria says he was detained without reason by a group of masked men while he was flying back from visiting his mother in Nicaragua. He says those men took his personal and work devices and demanded he give them his passwords, threatening to cost him his job and reputation if he didn't. Chavarria told members of Congress that encounter still affects him to this day.
Since this incident, I do not feel free to travel. I am fearful that a visit to my mother could mean extended detention or a fabricated plot to destroy my life.
His story will be one of 22 similar counts being compiled into a report by Connecticut Senator Richard Blumenthal, the ranking member of the Permanent Subcommittee on Investigations. He and a few other members of Congress, including Vermont Senator Peter Welch, ran the public forum Tuesday afternoon where Chavarria spoke, saying that this report and what ICE and other federal agents are doing should appall American citizens.
This report ought to shock America's conscience. Americans should be shocked to read these stories.
This indiscriminate roundup of people because who knows why? It's all arbitrary.
As Chavarria pleads his case to Congress, his district is in the middle of a battle defending a decision they made this week to fly the Somali flag out front of their school. It comes after President Trump made these comments.
The Somalians should be out of here. They've destroyed our country.
District officials say they raised the flag for the week to honor Somali youth and families in Winooski and in Vermont, letting them know that they are supported. But the decision led to backlash from conservative activists on social media who argue they shouldn't be flying another country's flag. In return, the district temporarily took down its website due to increased traffic and fired back with another statement writing, quote, "We are committed to recognizing and uplifting the cultures and identities represented in our schools." And another recent incident with the district was a second grade student and his mother being taken into custody by federal agents. Mike Donahue with Vermont News First just shared an update recently about that, saying CBP told him that they were detained because the mother had fraudulent documents. Chavarria commented on that update, saying the district's goal remains unchanged. They want to get the child back into the classroom until the family is allowed its day in court. Reporting live in the newsroom, Matt Holderman, ABC 22 News.